for being cheap to produce and cheap to maintain. So this house is cost very low, something like 60,000 euros to produce. It's really low, and there's already regulation mechanism in it. So you only have to put a small amount of energy more in the house to make it work. So the greenhouse is kind of ecosystem by itself. So the house could be taken as an ecosystem itself, but still you need to provide some energy to it. And the fourth point is restrictive environment. It's environment by itself, but being restrictive is very interesting. And especially today, we have a crisis, economical crisis, and I think it's a very creative moment for us all, because we have to, our possibilities are shrinking. And when possibilities are shrinking, then you begin to innovate and to see what can you do to keep your comfort, and what part of your comfort you want to live, and you make priorities. So, on the first point is razor. It was made in Cuba. Well, actually it's a drawing, but if you put a pen with a razor blade on top of it, then you get a razor blade by itself. And well, I think it's quite powerful because it's only two small objects, and you do something like, comfort. It looks like comfort. And second one is Namibian a coleopter. Well, it's quite common, but a coleopter, they stay in the fog in the morning in the desert, and they keep the water in the air, and the skin produces drops, water drops, and then they drink every morning the water in the air. So I think there are many projects today that have been produced on this principle, and it's quite interesting. Actually, the problem is that we need a huge amount of water to live, and so this technology is not very, it's a bit difficult to produce today in industrial scale. And the third project is solar water disinfection. So it's very simple. You put some plastic bottles on top of a roof in hot countries like Africa or Pakistan or South America. And the UV and heat produced by the sun, in 6 hours, the water is good to drink. It doesn't mean that the water is perfect. It means that you can drink it, which is a lot for some countries where water is very bad, and you can drink it unless you get sick. So this is a very cheap technology, we'll say, but it's very important to know that it fits very well to the ecosystem of Africa, for example, where they have very little means. So a plastic bottle is a lot for Africans, and with a plastic bottle they can produce water they can drink, which is a lot. It's something quite important. So, and below this simple technology, there's two Italian designers who designed the same with the same technology a bottle. But the problem is, if this bottle is very interesting by itself, it's a good design. The problem is that Africans can't afford it. So it's about, I think it's about ecosystem feeling, awareness about the ecosystem, because there's it means financial awareness of the problem of African. African, they have no money, they have nothing, so they can buy some water to some new stuff to produce drinkable water. Okay, so next is policy. So of course you need policies to make sustainable design gone in the community, in the state. So here I took two examples. The one is in Swiss. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a lot of material because Swiss are very quiet. I don't know why. But actually, when I was in Swiss 2 years ago, I discovered that they had stamps they put on the bin bags. And it's, the size of the bag gives the price of the stamp. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it means that Swiss people, they put as much as possible as waste in the bag, and the Swiss is very efficient. It's very, very efficient because they pay for the collection of the waste, but moreover, they do the best to improve the system. And well, there's some drawbacks. I think in some countries like Ireland, it would maybe not work because the people will put the waste elsewhere, not in the bin bag. You see, so there's in Swiss they are military. They are very strict, and if somebody doesn't do like the state say, so they say like that. So it's easy, but you know, in France we say, oh, no problem. And second is Vélib. So the Vélib is the very famous Paris bicycle rental system. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it. And this system is really impressive, I think, in terms of interaction design, product design, urban design. It takes already some car parkings. So the car parkings are going off, and the new bicycles. So that's very good design because it pushes the car out of the town, but it uses the infrastructures of the car. So I'm very impressed about it. It's very popular from a political point of view. And also, as you can see, there's a pricing policy, which is very interesting because actually in transport, you have the plane for thousands of kilometers, then the train, then the bus, and then the car, but it's not public transport, and then bicycle. And bicycle, you use it as a small transportation system. Of course, if you are in Paris, you want to bicycle and visit Paris and for 2 hours, 4 hours. But the problem is that these bicycles are intended to be used as public transport. So there's a pricing policy that says, okay, you can use it for free for the first half hour, and after you have to bring back. Otherwise, you pay. And the more you use, the more you pay, which is quite uncommon for a pricing policy. But it's very interesting to see that this pricing policy is made to make it at public transport and not private transport. So after that, there's a small, well, I'll talk about light bulbs. So I think that most light bulbs are very nice. It's candles or, I mean, classical light bulbs or economical light bulbs. They're all good, but the problem is that you have to think about the use and the infrastructure of the light bulb. I mean, the ecosystem. And for example, here in Ireland, if you turn on the light, you need mostly